Good morning, kindergarten. Welcome to math class. Today we are going to be learning all about two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional shapes. Now you may wonder, what is that big word? Well, we're going to talk about it today. So I'm going to show some shapes and I want you to tell me what the name of them are, okay? So first we have, what is this one called? Yes, it's a rectangle. Now can you tell me how many sides does this rectangle have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. Now, can you tell me how many corners there are? Remember, corners are where two sides meet. So if these two sides meet, where they meet is right here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is correct. This is a rectangle. Let's move on to another shape. Who can tell me what this shape is? Yes, it's an oval. Now, does an oval have any sides? Yeah, maybe just one, but does it have any corners? Do you see any? Nope, it's all curved, so there are no corners. Next we have, what is this shape? You're right, it is the square. A square has 4 of the same sides. So if you could notice, the rectangle and the square, they both have 4 sides, but the rectangle has longer sides. The square has sides that are all the same. So there we have the square and the rectangle. The square also has, let's count how many corners it has. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 corners. What is the name of this shape? That's right. It is called the triangle. The triangle has how many sides? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. Triangles have 3 sides. Now let's count how many corners does it have. 1, 2, 3. 3 corners. Good. And our other shape we're going to work on, let's see. This one's tricky. Let's see if you can figure it out. This is called a hexagon. Hexagon has, let's count how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides. Now let's count how many corners it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 corners. This is a hexagon. Next we have this shape here. Do you know what this is called? Yes, this is a circle. Does the circle have any corners? No, all of its sides here are curved. Now I just showed you all of these shapes. They are 2D. That means they're two-dimensional. That means they're flat. They have what we call length and width. They have a way that you can measure them 2 sides, 2 ways. So there's length and width. All of these have length and width. Now, what I'm going to show you next are 3-dimensional objects. That means that these shapes have 3 ways you can measure them. You can measure them by height, by length, and by width. So let me show you. Here's one that is 3D. Okay? Now what shape does this look like? What do you think? You're right, it looks like a square, but because it not only has length and width, it also has height, which means you can go back and it can hold something inside. So if I wanted to, I could put something inside. This is a 3-dimensional shape. And this one, it looks like a square, but it's actually called a cube. Okay, this is a cube, a 3D cube. Next, we have let me get this one out. We have this one. Now, what shape does this one look like? You're right. It kind of looks like the circle to me. But because it has height too, and you could probably hold something inside, this is called a cylinder. Okay, so this is the shape. Now, it kind of looks like something I found in my kitchen pantry. A can of soup. A can of soup is just like a cylinder. As you can see, looks like a circle, but it's 3D and it can hold things. Now, soup is really good, especially on these rainy days. So Remember, a cylinder looks like this. Next, we have this shape here. This is another one. And what do you think that looks like? It looks like a ball or a globe. It's a circle, but it's 3D. It's round, and it's curved on all surfaces. This is called a sphere. What is it called? That's right, a sphere. So we've got the cylinder, and we have a sphere. And I got this ball to show you. This is an example of a sphere, a ball. So today we are going to be figuring out the difference between our flat 2D shapes that only have length and width, and then our 3D shapes that have length and width and height, and they are three-dimensional. So what I want you to do is I want you to take out your math paper that looks just like this, and I want you to put your name at the top, and then I'm going to walk you through how to do it. So you're going to need to get some colored pencils or some crayons to help you finish this, but I want you to pay close attention to how to do it, and then you'll go on and do it at your house. So it says at the top, color the object that has the same shape. What shape is this here? That's right, it's a square. So which one has the same shape? Well, is it this wall of bricks? No. What about this letter here? Yeah, that looks like the same shape. It's a square. So you're going to go ahead and use a color, one crayon, and color that. And then we're going to go to the next one. We've got, what is this shape called? That's right, it's a circle. Let's go ahead and see. Is this Bible a circle? No, it's not. What about this flower? Is that in the shape of a circle? Yeah, it is. So go ahead and color that flower for me. Right in the middle, there's that circle. So go ahead and color that circle on the inside. Here's the next shape. We have the rectangle. Now the rectangle is somewhere in these pictures. Do you see it anywhere? Ooh, I see a rectangle here in this tractor, and then maybe in this part here where it's carrying something along. Go ahead and color that. What about this one? Is this in the shape of a rectangle? No, that's more like a circle. That's a ball. What about this one? This one is called, do you remember anybody? This one was tricky. This shape is called the hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. Now, which one do we see has 6 sides? Be careful. Which shape has 6 sides that looks kind of like a hexagon? Well, this one might. What about this one? Don't get tricked. This one's tricky. This one, let's count how many sides it has. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Ooh, that's a totally different shape. That's called an octagon. So we know that this one, if you count carefully, it is in this shape, and it looks like the shape of the hexagon with 6 sides. Then over here we have a picture, and this is where you're going to need your crayons or your colored pencils. It says color the shapes to match the key. So they gave you the key right here, and so you're going to color all of the circles. What color? Yellow. Yes. And then you're going to color all of the rectangles. What color? Red. Yes. Then you're going to look at all the squares and color those. What color? Blue. And then the last one is the triangle, and what color are you going to color those? You're going to color those green. So go ahead and use your crayons and color this picture of the snowman and the house. Find all the shapes that you can find and color them with this key. When you're done with that, go ahead and turn to the back, and you're going to look at this carefully. Okay, so it says put an X on each flat 2D object. So if it's flat, you're going to put an X on it. If it is 3D, that means that it looks kind of like the cube or the ball or a can. You're going to circle that. So put an X on the flat ones and circle the ones that are 3D. So we've got this piece of cheese. Looks pretty flat, doesn't it? Yeah, so you're going to put an X on that. That's 2D. What about this ball of yarn? Is that 2D or 3D? Yeah, it's 3D, so go ahead and circle it. Next, we have a picture of this piece of paper. You tell me, what do you think it is? If you said 2D and you crossed out, you're correct. Look at this smiley face. Is that flat or 3D? It's flat. This is a top. Does it look 3D or 2D to you? Look at this soda can. Ooh, that's pretty similar to this cylinder. That would be 3D. Next, this drum. Is that 3D or 2D? It's 3D. Then an envelope. Those are really flat. That would be 2D. And this ball. A ball, we know, is 3D. So go ahead and circle that one. Now, the last section you're going to need to follow my directions because I have a special thing I want you to color each shape. So listen up carefully. Now, what shape has no straight sides or corners? No straight sides or corners. Yeah, that would be a circle. So, I want you to color all of the circles yellow. Color all of the circles yellow. Next, what shape has 3 sides and 3 corners? 3 sides and 3 corners. If you said a triangle, you were correct. Now, with the triangle, I want you to color all the triangles green. Color all the triangles green. Now, what shapes have 4 sides and 4 corners? Well, you should have 2 answers here. It could be either a square or a rectangle. So go ahead and find those, and what I want you to do is I want you to color the rectangles and the squares blue. Color the squares and rectangles blue. Then, one more step. When you're all done coloring those blue, I want you to circle just the squares. Circle just the squares. All right. That should conclude this math lesson, and we will see you in the next. Bye, guys.